Good morning. Happy New Year. I get to be the one of the first videos coming out on 2023. I love the timing of this. I love the idea of what we're going to talk about today. So, first and foremost, I hope that you enjoyed bringing 2022 to a close and that you are looking forward to what lies ahead. I am. Um, some things fell into place for me over the last 2 to 3 days that helped sort of bring together what's possible. And so I wanted to share that with you. And it was lovely that last night I was able to hang out in a bonfire in Montana, out in the middle of a field with a bunch of millennials celebrating a birthday and sort of observing the hum and the way that these beautiful souls gathered. And what I sort of noticed is as I was looking around is that there was so much vibrant crystal energy, right? So for those of you who have been following, you know that I wrote the Indigo Assignment, which is the assignment that the Indigos took on by arriving close, to 1977 in mass before and after, and continue to arrive, right? So the Indigo energy is a very warrior energy, here to dismantle. What I've noticed about the crystals is that they don't have that. They have a very powerful warrior, but they're a peaceful warrior. They're much different. And so sitting in this campfire or this bonfire last night, watching these crystalline souls, what it did was I noticed that what I what did I notice? That they're vibrational, that they're heart based, that they're vastly intelligent. Like their intelligence is off the chart. Just sort of in what they observe, where their passions are, what sort of conversations come up, right? I also started to put some pieces together as I was watching the laughter and the ambiance of feeling in a community, feeling accepted, feeling seen, feeling completely relaxed, which isn't something that crystals do very easily because they are always sensitive to agendas and control and manipulation. And a lot of them have baby boomers as parents, right? Or very, very early Gen Xers, right? And so with this crystalline energy, what they, it's almost like you start teaching, you start informing, you start moving towards a conversation, and they're like, "Nah, I'm out." I'm out, right? And so as warriors of vibration, and I have to just sort of apologize in advance. It is New Year's Day. I was out till midnight. You can see that I'm tired, so I've got my notes over here because this is really important and I want to make sure that I hit all of the points, okay? So as vibrational beings, they're independent. They are going to hold the vibration of the new, the vibration of love. They're Venetian in their nature, so they're going to hold what this vibration looks like, and they're going to anchor it in. And as holders, it's sort of like the indigos came in and cleared everything out, and the seeds were planted, and now you sort of like it's almost like the greenhouse environment with the crystals, or the image that kept coming in is the hens that are sitting on top of the eggs. They know something's hatching. They know something's coming. Their job is to hold and to create space for it, and to hold against all of this stuff that's going on. So I think that the crystalline energy is going to be our key focus for 2023, because as truths start to come out, as chaos starts to develop, as things are going on, what we're noticing is that these crystals are holding. Right? So they're holding this vibration. They're going to push away from authority. They're going to push away from the boomer, from the Gen Xers. They're going to push away from agendas that don't matter to them. And, in such a brave way, such a beautiful, brave way. And when someone is coming at them, whether it's a boss, whether it's a parent, whether it's an older sibling, whether uh, it is the politics or the culture, what I notice is that they just simply disconnect. They step back and they disconnect. And in the disconnection, they shut down their ability. They don't shut their vibration down. They shut down their ability to be affected by your vibration. And as a mother of crystals and as a baby boomer, it's so frustrating to watch how you want to reach out and you want to connect, and there's this wall. It's kind of like, nope, until you come in on a way that I can accept it, I'm just going to do my own thing. I'm going to entertain myself with video games. I'm going to entertain myself with friends. I'm going to sit here, play with the dog or the cat, but I am not talking with you. No, don't bring that in here. Right. So this shield, this disconnection goes down against anything that's toxic or anything that's out of resonance with them. And I noticed often that school and work, because they're embedded within the millennial culture, have been giving the millennials this really raw, weird sort of reputation, and it's a vibrational shutdown. Like, you know what? You go do what you need to do. I'm not doing that. I have things to work on. I'm here to hold. You go do your control, right? So they endure and they wait, right? So when there is this vibrational connection, there's this magical opening, and then the intelligence and the wisdom comes through, the insights, the passion on what they like, what they collect, what they love to do, who the people are that they care about. And there's this presence, and it's magical. So, I sort of look at it like it's following a current. You're kind of swimming around, or you're looking for that sweet spot where there's some warm water coming in, and then you hit it and you go, oh, there you are. Wow, it's so cool to hang out with you like this. And they're like, yeah, okay. And then they just move, and you kind of have to move with them, and they're going to do their own thing. And so this hanging out at a bonfire with beautiful crystals was the way to take this information and hand it to you for 2023, because I believe that the crystalline energy um, that we have on our planet is starting to sort of come into its own and hold us in a grace that we haven't even known before. So I have some tips for you on, I've got four, well, I've got five, because I always talk about compassion, right? I've got four for you on what we can do, and then some tips, some ideas of what else there is. Number one, ooh, I think this is the most difficult, and it's going to be the skill set that works for us the best in 2023, is that you got to drop out of your head and start and think of, oh, it said this on the news, it's doing this, I need this. What if da, 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 da. We have to grab all of that stuff and drop out of our heads, and we have to drop into our hearts, right? Because it's our vibration. And you can, in some ways I can even notice that my heart will kind of like crack open. And so when I'm holding things from the heart vibration, my brain goes quiet. My brain actually rests. My mind stops the anxiety, stops the over processing, stops the problem solving, and it quiets. And the rhythm of my breath going in and out is what sort of sets the pace for who I am and how I interact. And that is the state of the crystal energy. So when we're in our heads going, "Bup, bup, 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 bup," or we're starting to, the mind chatter is going, it's offensive to that sort of calm, beautiful energy. It's also painful. And so there is the need to put shields up around it. So the first thing to do is drop out of your head and go into your heart. And for those of us who are problem solvers and mental processors, this is a whole new skill set, a whole new skill set. Number two, interact from that spot where your heart is open, you're in that breathing, and all you're doing is sort of going like, what do I do now? I'm in a quieter place. And so you notice and you observe and you gather and you watch, right? You just sort of you get quieter and you interact and you connect from there. because that doesn't have the harshness. It doesn't have the agenda. It doesn't have the needfulness. It is a true and pure connection. So the head can give us these linear facts, like here's the date, here's the schedule, this is what we got to do today, this is how much money we have in the bank, this is what we're going to eat tonight, this is how much homework you have to do, this is what I need to do, this is my checklist, these are my goals for 2023, right? It's linear. And the heart intelligence is not linear. It's spiral, it's circles, it's vibrational, and it comes out of our systems and it interacts with others. And it is always moving and it is pulsing, kind of like that torus, the idea that we have an energy field within that comes through our system and comes out. So this heart intelligence gives us the essence of what's going on. It gives us the whole story. It's like we feel the whole thing in entire holograms of information, right? Number 3, when interacting with others. And this is a brand new skill. And I talked about this with Ashley Fraunheiser on Wednesday. And it's something that both of us learned, have been honing and learning more about from Susie Miller. Okay. Is that you fill your space or your field with the heart. So you take your heart space that you've opened up and you just expand it into the room. Like for right now, I'm expanding it into the camera. I'm expanding it into my office. I'm expanding it so that it can be held. And if you notice, my voice is softer than it usually is, right? Because sometimes I can get a little shrill when I'm excited and I have a lot of information. This one's completely different. So you hold the space in from your heart out and you hold it, right? And you feel it with the emotions that you want to feel. So instead of an agenda, like, boy, if I can hold this for an hour, then I can get him to talk to me about school later. Those are the things that don't work, right? So you eliminate the agenda, you eliminate the director, the parent, the manager, and you go in clean without an agenda. You just start feeling it, right? And then you check your attachment, which is how long do I have to do this? If I do this, will this happen? Will that happen? So you're starting to let go of forming or teaching or directing. You're just holding it. And in there, you put feelings like that are broader. So the example I would use is that I want my son or my daughter to finish their this last semester strong so that they have a chance to go to college. This is standard traditional stuff I coach all the time, right? And the way to go into the field is I want my child to be happy. I wonder what they really love to do. I wonder what I really love to do. And you're sort of holding what makes you happy, what brings you joy, what brings you expansion. And in that field, there it is unlimited as to what can show up, right? So you let go of shaping and defining, okay? And you bring your mind down and you shut off everything that's outside and you open your heart, because what we're doing is we're using the heart to expand. And right now Jupiter is in Aries, went in December, it comes out in May. So what it's doing is Jupiter is an expansion planet, so it's going to expand everything. So if you just put a little bit of love into the field, it expands all over the place, right? You want to feel sorry, I was out in the cold all night. Okay. You want to put into your field love and joy and compassion, right? Compassion. Okay. Number 4, look for tools that help you understand yourself, whether it's, I might have to stop this and come back. Calming it down. Calming it down. It's interesting. When I go up into timelines and looking at the time and whatnot, my throat starts to constrict. And when I relax into it, it starts to open up. So you get to see a visual of what I'm talking about. This is profound. Number 4, look for resources. Look for astrology, look for Chiron, look for, I mean, a really simple exercises to do the birth year. Your birth, excuse me, the year of this new year, which is 2023, plus your date of birth plus the month of your birth, and add those up and break them down into the smallest number and look that up in numerology. This 2023 is the year of the 7, which is the chariot. Chariot. It's moving forward in balance between masculine and feminine. And when you add your birth year to that, it'll give you an information on how to hold that and what to do. I've got some chats going down there, and it was like interesting indeed to watch me actually, get out of my body and stop the connection that I had. So beautifully created. And this is hard work. This is mastery at its most challenging. So we use tools. We use tools to help us inform ourselves. We use tools to create stability. We create tools to be adaptive. We create tools that help us expand. And then we hold this vibration because we don't know how to do this. So we're learning. So my goal this year is I'm writing the crystal assignment. So I'm doing the deep dive into it. I've got this wall with all of the markers I want to hit in the book. So I'm going to talk a lot about this vibration, and I would love it if you put questions and observations in the comments, and you can always email me and tell me what you experience or what you want to know. Number 5 on the tip is to have compassion for yourself, because this is the hardest thing I've ever done, and I am a water sign, and I could have always thought I was able to get down into my feelings, and holding this field open without attachment, without being a director or a manager, is a really tough thing to do. So have self-compassion, have compassion for those around you who are watching you kind of uh, go up and down and in and out of a lot of different attempts at connection, and have compassion for those that don't know anything about this and are just afraid in their mind, chattering all the time. And notice, how much time you can really spend around that person and separate from them, but separate from them with compassion, not disdain. And I think you'll learn this from the crystal energies, is that there really isn't at its core disdain. There's just the need to separate. So if you want to know more about this, if this is interesting to you, by all means, share this, drop me a note, or my information is at the bottom, and you can always do one-on-one coaching with me. So have a wonderful new year. And I'm so glad that the energy is calmer now. Wow, that was a trip. You have a great new year, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.